The Oracle Trap. Did Larry Ellison acquire TikTok's US user data to silence Gen Z? This isn't about protecting your data from China. It's about transferring power to a man with deep ties to the CIA. Ellison has invested billions in surveillance technology, and now he controls TikTok's algorithm. Project Texas, the supposed solution, actually gives Oracle unprecedented control over content. This allows for manipulation of public opinion, specifically targeting the influential Gen Z demographic. Consider the implications. What if pro-Palestinian content, so prevalent among young users, suddenly disappears? This strategic move by Ellison isn't just business, it's geopolitical. The stakes are incredibly high. You think the war for TikTok is over. You think the threat was China, and the solution was America. But while Washington politicians were screaming about Beijing, a silent transfer of power was taking place in Texas. The keys to the most influential algorithm in human history weren't just handed to a trusted partner. They were handed to Larry Ellison. And here is the question the mainstream media refuses to ask. Why would a man with deep ties to the CIA, and who is one of the largest individual donors to the Israeli Defense Forces, want control over an app used by Gen Z? This isn't about business, this is about narrative dominance. Today, we are investigating the rumors, the money, and the code. Did Larry Ellison acquire TikTok to control what your children think about Israel? Welcome to the Oracle Trap. To understand the trap, you have to understand the bait. For years, the narrative was simple. TikTok is a Chinese spy tool. Congress demanded a ban. They claimed ByteDance was harvesting location data and keystrokes to feed the Chinese Communist Party. Enter Oracle. The solution proposed was Project Texas, a plan to move all American user data onto servers owned and operated by Oracle. On paper, it looked like a standard cloud hosting deal. Oracle would act as the landlord for the data. But the fine print tells a darker story. Oracle didn't just get the storage contract. They got the right to review the source code. This made Larry Ellison the gatekeeper. His company is now the firewall between the raw algorithm and the American public. Ellison positioned himself as the savior of free speech, but history suggests that saving data usually means surveilling it. Because to trust Oracle with your privacy, you have to ignore exactly how this company was born. Most people think Oracle is just boring business software, databases for banks and HR departments. That is the camouflage. In 1977, the Central Intelligence Agency needed a way to organize massive amounts of intelligence data. They launched a classified operation. The code name for that CIA operation was Project Oracle. Larry Ellison didn't just build the tool. He named his entire company after his first customer, the CIA. For 40 years, Oracle has been the backbone of the American surveillance state. Before Google, before Palantir, there was Oracle. They managed the databases for the NSA, Navy Intelligence, and the Air Force. Their DNA is written in espionage. So when the US government demanded TikTok find a safe home, they didn't pick a neutral party. They picked the oldest partner of the military-industrial complex. This recontextualizes everything. We aren't talking about hosting funny cat videos anymore. We are talking about the fusion of a consumer entertainment app with the architecture of state surveillance. When TikTok data flows into Oracle's cloud, it is entering a system built by and for the watchers. And at the top of that system sits one man, a man with very specific and very expensive political allegiances. This is the part of the story that gets labeled conspiracy to shut down debate, but the financial records are public. Larry Ellison is not just a supporter of Israel. He is one of the most significant individual financiers of the Israel Defense Forces in the world. At a single fundraising gala for the Friends of the IDF, Ellison donated $16.6 million. His money goes directly to support the welfare of soldiers in the Israeli military. His commitment is ideological, financial, and absolute. Now, look at the other side of the equation. Gen Z, the primary users of TikTok. Statistically, Gen Z is the most pro-Palestinian generation in American history. During recent conflicts, pro-Palestinian content on TikTok vastly outperformed pro-Israel content. This created a panic in Washington and Tel Aviv. Politicians claimed the algorithm was broken. They claimed it was biased. But here's the paradox. The man tasked with fixing this algorithm is the same man funding the army that Gen Z is criticizing. This is a massive conflict of interest. If Oracle has the power to review the code to stop Chinese influence, do they also have the power to stop anti-Israel influence? Critics argue that this is the real goal, not to ban the app, but to capture the narrative. If you own the servers, you can identify which chaotic variables, which influencers, which hashtags are damaging the reputation of the IDF. And you can ensure that slowly but surely those voices lose their reach. To understand how this manipulation works, you have to respect the weapon. The TikTok algorithm is the most potent psychological tool ever created. It doesn't just show you what you like. It shapes what you believe. It dictates the window of acceptable debate. By holding the keys to the server through Project Texas, Oracle sits at the choke point of American culture. They have the technical capacity to see the weights in the code. These are the mathematical values that decide if a video goes viral or dies in obscurity. You don't need to ban a topic to kill it. You just need to tweak the weight. A 5% reduction in reach for pro-Palestine keywords creates a massive shift in public perception over 6 months.